Hi, everyone. Welcome to Black in Focus. I'm Karen Toulon here at Bloomberg's world headquarters in New York, and I'm very excited to be in conversation today with Melissa Ingram. She is the Senior VP of Multicultural Networks and Strategy at Up Entertainment, based in Atlanta. Hi there, Melissa.
Hi, Karen. Thank you so much for having me. It's such a pleasure.
Well, we're delighted to have you. So, Melissa, at Up Entertainment is actually the parent company of Aspire TV and Cine Romantico. Pardon
Yeah.
my lovely accent, a Spanish language romance movie channel where you oversee day-to-day management, driving growth and content. Really interesting job to have, especially now. And Aspire TV actually is an entertainment TV network that's wholly focused on the Black cultural experience. It was actually founded 9 years ago this
Yeah.
June
Yeah.
by Magic Johnson Enterprises. Um, Certainly so much going on, so much interest in the Black experience, especially
Yeah.
in these times of heightened awareness of social justice. How do you see Aspire TV and the work you're doing fitting in?
Well, that's such a great question, Karen. 9 years ago, we really wanted to sort of change the way in which the Black audience sees themselves, right? So we have this tagline on Aspire TV that says, "See yourself here." And it was really birthed out of this demand and need for the Black audience to be able to have authentic representation of their lifestyle, the way in which they eat, and the way in which they live, and the way in which they shop and play and dream, most importantly. And so we created Aspire to celebrate, reflect, and to share Black culture and urban lifestyle in a way that changes the way we see ourselves and see each other. And so I often tell people, joy and positivity and and all of that sort of good feeling is a form of protest. It's a form of activism to actually be prideful and to be joyful about our experiences. And so Aspire is really at the forefront of that. And in 2016, we decided to really own the Black lifestyle space. And I know lifestyle has a lot of meanings for people when you say that word, but we really wanted to stick to traditional lifestyle programming. So your culinary, your travel, your fashion. We wanted to reflect the aesthetic and the swag and the culture because we all know that look, Black culture is American culture, and it's the root of all of the culture that we experience today, and sets the trends for the world. And so Aspire is really in that space and owning that space.
Wow. And so what are the types of programs that you have on here? I think there's a show called Butter and Brown. Is that
Yes,
right?
yes, that was actually sort of our entry into Black lifestyle. And it's a great show. It's two HBCU grads, Seth Brundle and Leslie Antonoff. And we actually found them on Issa Rae's YouTube channel. They had been there for some time. And we took note of them and said they're ready for television. And then we moved into design, and we partnered with the fabulous celebrity interior design, Nikki Chu. And so she actually started doing home makeovers. The last season we did with her, she actually went into the home of Holly Robinson Peete and Tank and Zena Foster and Nicole and Boris Cujo. And she actually just transforms on a really reasonable budget these beautiful spaces. So again, this sort of traditional lifestyle programming is what you find on Aspire. And then we also have had a commitment since launch to elevate the next generation of storytellers. So we have a great program called Urban Indie Film Block, where it's a curation of the best short films. And then we partnered with Damn Right Originals, which is a millennial screenwriting company, to actually produce original short films for Aspire. So we're in the production space of owning urban short films as well. And then I'm a proud HBCU graduate myself from Spelman College. So we are committed to reflecting also the culture and the lifestyle of historically Black colleges and universities on Aspire TV in partnership with CIAA, in partnership with Thurgood Marshall College Fund, and in partnership with Game Day, which is the producers of some of our lifestyle HBCU programming.
Wow, that is windy. So going through all of that, I know you also have a program I think called Kin, where you're with and is it Angela?
Yeah.
Yep.
So Kin Community, one of the largest producers of lifestyle content for millennial women. we partnered with them and have two new shows, Side by Side, which are twin sisters, friends of the Kardashians. And then Just Angela, the daughter of Rev Run. She is on the air now with a fabulous show that gives you sort of a look behind the scenes into her diary of her life as a boy mom as well as a girl boss. So really excited about the partnership with Ken and about this phenomenal talent that is now on our air.
Well, so you mentioned so many things. You mentioned historically Black colleges, culinary, design, um, some celebrities. You mentioned a lot of things, which kind of brings me to the next question. This is a really unforgiving industry.
Mm,
And the Black and Brown audience is not a monolith, right?
nope.
There are a lot of different people, there are a lot of different cultures within that Black and Brown audience. There are a lot of different uh, income levels, a lot
Mhm.
of different hopes and dreams. Um, and then we throw in things like COVID. We throw in things like just changes in technology, right?
Right.
Um, what are some of the challenges that you really are facing, and how do you begin to kind of process? How do you tackle them?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think honestly, Karen, one of the things that keeps me up at night is the fact that things are changing so quickly with the way in which we consume media, right? I mean, there's so many options. It's overwhelming. Even, do I subscribe to this? Do I look on my phone? Do I look on my computer? Do I look on the TV still? And so making sure that Aspire is in all of those places and expanding its brand and its business and thinking about new platforms and new media in which to take the brand is really something that keeps me up and learning the trends of where this audience is going. We know that the Black audience is still consuming more live television than any other segment, which is why linear is still very important for us. But I think we begin to start to look at, well, what are some of the real opportunities over the top, fast channels, online? Is it a advertising video on demand? Is this a subscription video on demand? Where does Aspire go from here to continue to grow its brand and distribution? So that is really sort of at the forefront of my mind.
Mhm.
Um, Media is changing and trends are changing and consumption of media is changing. And so staying ahead of that is really a challenge, but a welcome challenge that I think yields a lot of opportunity for the brand.
And before I let you go, I just wanted to talk with you a little bit about your career, because I think people always want to find out, how do people end up where they are. Now, you already, of course you did. Of course you mentioned Spelman. Why wouldn't you? But you also have a law degree from Berkeley.
Yeah,
And that's kind of how you made your way. Um, uh, how did you end up in the wonderful world of broadcast television from a law degree?
yeah, being a lawyer was always something that I set out to do. Even at 12, I wrote essays about what I was going to be, and it was always an entertainment lawyer. And so when I graduated from Spelman, I was very clear what I was going to obtain and thinking I was going to be back in my hometown of Los Angeles practicing entertainment law. And God saw different for me. I ended up back in Atlanta and started working for one of the largest Southeast law firms at the time, which is Alston Bird, doing labor and employment, which wasn't necessarily entertainment. So I had to sort of figure out, how am I going to make this transition? And I finally did, after a few years, started working with a small boutique entertainment firm here in Atlanta and started doing contract work for what was then Gospel Music Channel and what is today Up Entertainment. And so it just, from there, opportunities came for me to run the business of Aspire. And I welcome that. And I feel like all of my experiences in my education and people that I had the opportunity to sit underneath prepared me to sort of step into this role of GM for Aspire.
Wow. Well, thank you so much for coming in and telling
You
us about
can.
your work and what you're doing. So Melissa Ingram at Up Entertainment. And that's it for Black in Focus today. I'm Karen Toulon, and we'll see you next week. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Karen.